Here we go. HMO regulation changes from October. Okay, we do only have 2 HMO landlords in this room. However, I'd be surprised if we don't have any HMO landlords in this room that actually don't know they're HMO landlords. Because with the changes, there's 2 things that have changed. What is classed as a licensable HMO and the minimum room sizes. But just in very, very brief terms, a HMO is actually any property that is rented out to 3 or more non-related individuals making up 2 households. So if anybody in this room rents out, for example, let's say they have a house down by New Cross and they rent 3 nurses that are not related. It's a HMO. It's not a licensable HMO, but in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of legislation, it is a HMO. And for those of you that haven't been to our seminars previously, in September of last year, Wolverhampton Council brought out what's called Article 4. They're throwing everything at us. Which basically states if you are renting a property with 3 or more non-related individuals in the property, you don't need a HMO licence, but what you do need is planning permission. So if any of you have any tenancies where that is the case, review what's going on, have a look, because this is where you will find, let's say, boyfriend and girlfriend and a friend. This happens all the time. This is frequent. Check that out. So, key thing that happened on the 1st of October, a licensable HMO used to have to be made up of 5 or more people over 3 or more stories, okay? So if you'd got a 2-bedroom semi and it had been converted into a 6-bedroom HMO, which was our model back in 2010, you were okay because it was over 2 floors. We kept it at 6 occupants because when you got to 7, it required planning. So we kept everything under the licensing, under the planning. In October, they have now removed the story element. And for anybody in this room that has 5 tenants living in a property, now when I say 5 occupiers, let's use the word occupiers in a property that make up more than two or more households, you now own a licensable HMO. Now, Andy's just stood up at the front and told you what the council are hunting for, who they're looking for, who they're trying to find, HMO landlords. And they will go down this route. All applications should have been submitted by the 1st of October. There was no grace period given. If you haven't submitted an application and you think that you have a HMO, please do so now, better late than never. This is going to affect a lot of properties, particularly in our portfolio. And on average, and this is England-wide, it's not just our local area, on average they think it's going to bring into play about 174,000 additional properties that will require licensing. What are the council out to do, guys? How much is a licence in Wolverhampton, guys? £650. They're going to be making some money from this. And then if they can make some more money on top of that by penalising you, because remember, guys, you're expected to know they're not giving grace periods anymore. You've got to check. The other key thing was minimum room sizes and communal space has changed. There's always been a minimum room size, but they've always been a little bit, like this with it. There's defined minimum room sizes now, and I think it's 6.2 metres square, and they're considering head height and things like that. If they also understand that we can't evict tenants quickly. There's a process that we have to follow. But if you are renting a room that doesn't comply, you are expected within 18 months to have ended that tenancy and either made the room compliant or use it for another purpose. You're not able to continue to rent it moving forward.